The Illinois State women's soccer team, under the direction of head coach Drew Rolfe, has become the dominant player in the Missouri Valley Conference, even winning an NCAA tournament game a year ago. Today, they match wits with the powerful Atlantic Coast Conference and Allison Foley's Boston College Eagles in a big early season non-conference matchup. It's Boston College, Illinois State, women's college soccer, next on NSCAA-TV. And it is an absolutely beautiful Sunday afternoon as we bring you women's college soccer from Normal, Illinois, home to the Illinois State Redbirds, who last year won the first ever NCAA tournament game in the Missouri Valley Conference, as they welcome in ACC Power Boston College right here on NSCAA-TV. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be joined by Danielle Slayton. She won a national championship at Santa Clara, a professional championship, 5 years with the U.S. national team. And Danielle, Illinois State, a program that deserves some national attention.
Well, last season they had the best season they've ever had in school history. As you mentioned, they capped it off with a win in the NCAA tournament. They're a creative team, a team who really wants to put the ball on the ground, play a possession-style team, and they're a really fun team to watch.
And for Drew Rolfe, he has a fantastic score, their all-time points leader, Rachel Tejada.
Number 14, Rachel Tejada. She's really the brains and the creativity in attack for the Redbirds. She's smart, and she's certainly going to be the player they look to in key moments.
Meanwhile, Allison Foley will look to a freshman to handle Tejada.
Well, Boston College, they've been plagued by quite a few injuries, not only up top with Mackenzie Meehan, but also in the back, they have an injury to Casey Morrison. Allison Swaby, number 10, she's going to look to replace her. And Coach Foley says she's not only, she thinks, is the best defender they have on their team, but maybe the best defender they've ever seen.
It's going to be fun. We talked to Coach Rolfe and Coach Foley moments ago.
Well, we're thrilled to be on NSCAA-TV today. We're thrilled to have you at Adelaide Street Field, and we're thrilled to be playing such a top-level opponent. Today, I think it's very important that playing a team as athletic and as organized as Boston College is. I think it's very important that we are not in such a rush to get forward. I think it's very important that we keep the ball, and I think it's very important that we use the width and allow our back line to get forward and join us. I think if we don't get the game too stretched out and can keep compact, I think we'll be able to put some pressure on them and create some good chances.
The Illinois State.
You know, I think that one of the things we have to build off of is how stingy we've been defensively. We have been on the road for 7 games, and this is our 5th game on the road in 9 days. So we're going to really have to keep the ball moving. You know, we have a lot of respect for Illinois State. They're a direct team, so we'll sort of have to contrast that with our ball movement and take our opportunities as they present themselves.
Continental Tire, proud to be the presenting sponsor of the NSCAA-TV broadcast right here on NSCAA-TV.com. We thank Travis Roffler and all the good folks at ContinentalTire.com. Getting set for kickoff here. Take a look now at the Illinois State starting lineup, Danielle Slayton.
Well, Illinois State's going to be starting in a 4-3-3 formation, but I anticipate that it'll look a little bit more like a 4-5-1 with number 11 Leinert and number 9 Kale moving back towards the midfield.
All right, that is the starting lineup for the Redbirds. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Eagles in this Battle of the Birds.
And Boston College, they're also going to be in a 4-3-3 formation, and they're going to be led by 2 senior starters. Their goalkeeper, Alex Johnson, coming off 3 straight shutouts, and up top, center forward, Stephanie McCaffrey. 12 goals last year. She's someone special to watch.
All right, getting set here, the Illinois State Redbirds in their red, white, and red socks. The Boston College Eagles in gold from head to toe with a little maroon mixed in there as well. An absolutely splendid day here in Normal, Illinois, a few hours south of Chicago. And delighted to be with you, Dean Linke, along with former national champion and professional champion and Olympian silver medalist Danielle Slayton. And Danielle, you get the feeling around here that they're really proud of what Illinois State has accomplished on the soccer field the last couple years under Drew Roth.
They're a program that's just continued to build and build under Coach Roth. This is his 8th season here in Illinois State, and he's just gotten better and better every year with his team.
Illinois State in red. Now, when you think about Boston College, and you touched on it a little bit in the open, let's see here what Illinois State can do as Boston College comes back in support. When you talk about losing Meehan, look at Illinois State, stay with it. And then their center back as well, but Mackenzie Meehan, 20 goals last year.
She's somebody special to watch, and it's unfortunate that she had an injury to her Achilles. I had the opportunity to see her play in the CONCACAF Championship for the under-20 women's national team down in Trinidad and Tobago, and she was the leading goal scorer in that tournament, so it's certainly a big loss to Boston College that she's not out on the field.
Played in the middle, Rosie DiMartino, the third DiMartino to now play at Boston College. Another one of the DiMartino girls played at UCLA, a very talented family. Back line for Illinois State, led back there by number 5, Abby Van Deventure, and number 17, Elise Williams, a couple of juniors. There's your first look at Swaby, U18 national team, and Allison Foley loves the way she plays. This one dropped here quickly to Lauren Kale, and there's Swaby coming over to do the work.
She's just so athletic, she can cover so much ground defensively.
Stankowski gets it wide. Looking for Lauren Kale again. It'll go out of bounds back to Illinois State. The Redbirds on the attack. They played Texas A&M already, the Redbirds did. They lost that game as Illinois State comes in with a 3-2 record. They won 3 in a row before losing at Texas A&M and then losing down the road at DePaul.
And this is certainly a tough string of games for Illinois State. I mean, Texas A&M is highly ranked. DePaul is around 25 in the country, and Boston College is a good ACC side. So I think this is a really good test for the Illinois State Redbirds in terms of getting experience and tough games that they could see in the NCAA tournament later on in the season.
Played in the back, Elise Williams, number 17. Gets a piece of it. Allie Farkas, number 12. Boston College will go the other way. Lauren Bernard. And here's the thing about it. When you think about losing Mackenzie Meehan, still, though, Allison Foley loves what she has up top with Lauren Bernard, Stephanie McCaffrey, and Haley Dowd. Of course, Stephanie McCaffrey with the U23 national team.
And Coach Foley talks about how they're so different, but how they really play well together. You can see them combining.
Here's a shot from distance, and oh my, it's in! What a shot from Jana Jeffrey! She was banged up, wasn't even sure she was going to start, and it's 1-0 Eagles.
Well, this is just a dream start if you're a Boston College fan. And we were talking about the 3 forwards here for Boston College, but who steps up? A midfielder, number 12, Jana Jeffrey. She just picks this ball up from distance, gets her head down, and just smacks it, almost catching Erin Newsom a little bit off kilter. That was a great shot from distance. Great start for Boston College.
High ball is so important in the women's game, and that one over the head of Erin Newsom, but sent with some pace, and it's 1-0 Boston College. Let's see if the Redbirds can answer. Illinois State played out wide. It's Hannah Leinert, number 11, dropping it to the little feisty Gabby McCarter. She's the captain on the flank. All-Missouri Conference honorable mention a year ago, McCarter. Williams plays it in with her right foot. And knocked out of bounds.
And that's a good space for Rachel Tejada to find herself in, just 12 yards away from goal, back to goal. Coach Roth said she's so dangerous, even from back to goal. I like her positioning on that back line.
Here come the Eagles. Jana Jeffrey with her first goal of the season. We thought actually Cam DiDio was going to start because Jeffrey's been a little banged up, but before the game, Allison Foley telling us that Jeffrey's feeling okay, and after that goal, she's feeling just fine, Danielle.
Good decision by Coach to put her in there to start.
Here comes Bernard. She'll drop it to the left. It could be 2-0. walking it in there and then finally cleared off the line. I can't believe that Stephanie McCaffrey is almost like the ball got stuck on her shoe. She went around Newsom like she was a cone almost, but then just couldn't fire, Danielle.
That was a great little combination play between Lauren Bernard and then Stephanie McCaffrey. Certainly played some magic there in the box, but wasn't quite able to convert.
The ACC's Boston College Eagles, Missouri Valley Conference's Illinois State Redbirds. Meg McDonald, number 6. Played for the PDA Slammers along with her left back. Right next to her, Madison Kenny won a championship with them, so Allison Foley loves that combination.
And I have to say, I think that's something that can be really helpful. I was fortunate to play with a couple of players in college who I also had the opportunity to play with at the club level. And I got to tell you, that culture and that chemistry is something that can really carry over, particularly for two defenders who play next to each other in the back line.
Swaby. Ooh, well, I'll tell you what, the pressure and the goalkeeping so far has left us wanting just a little bit, and Swaby first started that, and then the pressure coming on Alex Johnson almost led to the equalizer. Rosie DiMartino will play it back to McDonald. McDonald finds Lauren Bernard. Boston College, Danielle, in a 4-3-3. Tell us about that formation.
Well, I think the most notable thing about a 4-3-3 formation is the space that's out wide. You can see it right here.
Here comes Kale. And Lauren Kale is a name we've said several times, and only about 7 minutes in on the right side here for Illinois State.
And since both teams are playing in a 4-3-3 formation, it's going to be important for them to use that space and use that width effectively.
Stankowski, Kale made the initial run. It was Dagny Olson that played it back. Out of bounds and a goal kick back to Boston College. They lead at 1-0 on a long distance bomb from Jana Jeffrey to make it 1-0 and just over the arms of Aaron Newsom. Battled and won there by McCaffrey. She'll drop it back to McDonald. McDonald hoping to spring Bernard. In a foot race in the back line there with Stankowski. They'll use Newsom and she'll bomb it near midfield. Dagny Olson with that thigh wrap as it's dropped here to Brooke Sizik. Sizik will sit in the middle there with Allie Farkas. Dagny Olson right in front of those three of Tejada, Kale, and Leinert for Illinois State. But right now it's all Boston College, and Boston College, the flag goes up just offside, leaving a second early there was Lauren Bernard.
And I know we're only a couple of minutes into this game, but I really like the combination play between number 5 Bernard and number 9 McCaffrey. They look like they're playing very well together, constantly looking for each other when the other player has the ball.
Well said, Danielle. Olson trying to spring it out wide the other way. Coco Woltz, the junior, played in 24 games, started 23 last year. Actually was a goal scorer in high school. Senior year, scored 9 goals and 15 assists for 33 points as a senior. And that's a trend where you've got attack-minded player now playing the wings. I'll let Danielle talk about that in a little bit. Woltz will knock it out of bounds. McCarter with the throw-in. Looking for Woltz. Cleared out by Boston College. Won here by Elise Williams. And Williams, she's had 3 or 4 ACLs, coming back from an ACL last year after 13 games. And here she is, the former All-MVC freshman in 2012, back out there again.
I love it. I mean, I don't know if I could have done that 3-4 times. That's incredible mentality.
Boston College continues to fire as Aaron Newsom must be like, what's going on here? That one over the crossbar.
Well, I think sometimes, too, when you're on the road, this is Boston College's 7th game on the road, looking to take opportunities to get one early. get your head up, take a peek at it. If the goalkeeper's a little bit off her line, why not go after it, especially knowing that you guys already were able to convert one goal by Jana Jeffries just a couple minutes into the match.
Bernard tucks back in. Bernard has looked explosive. Knocked to the ground outside the 18. Doug Wolf, the man in the middle, lets it go. Back to Illinois State. Boy, normally this early on you don't see it this wide open, but there's been a lot of space, particularly for Boston College.
And both teams want to play. They're both possession-oriented style teams. So you can see them both trying to put the ball on the ground, possess, combine. There's certainly quite a bit of space in there. If I was a defender out there, I don't know if I would like having to deal with that much space. Both teams are going to have to work to keep the game combined and tight.
Haley Dowd is fouled. Take a look here at the last opportunity from Bernard.
And that's good team defending. We see number 18, Dagny Olson, come in supporting her teammate to help take the ball away. That's what Illinois State's going to have to do. Defend in groups, defend together.
McDonald booms it long, one in the middle here by Rosie DiMartino. Throw in Boston College. Drew Roth standing over there. Allison Foley was sitting. Now she's standing. Drew Roth assisted by Jim Schneiderhan and Katie Baumgartner. This is loose again. Could be 2-0. It is. 2-0 Boston College. And it's all Eagles early here in Normal, Illinois.
And Stephanie McCaffrey does this all on her own. She gets the ball back to goal, and she just continues to have her way with the back line of Illinois State. Once she gets faced up, she beats a couple of defenders, slots it to the far post past goalkeeper Aaron Newsom.
Third goal to go with 3 assists on the season for Stephanie McCaffrey. As, keep in mind, Mackenzie Meehan out as she tore her Achilles out for the season, but that kind of play from McCaffrey, it's going to be tough to replace Meehan, but they're doing it collectively up top. Illinois State trying to find an answer. There's the first time we've really said Tejada. Tejada stays with it. Tejada back across, right in front, and just like that, it's 2-1. Set over and in. Hannah Leiner with her third goal of the season. The assist to that young lady right there, Rachel Tejada.
And this is the exact response you want to see if you're a coach, Drew Roth. Rachel Tejada really uses her body well. She gets the assist, but I got to tell you, this goal is all her. We talked about it in the beginning. Her and Swaby going at it. Tejada just stays with it and ends up being able to put that ball across, finding her teammate, number 11, Hannah Leiner.
I got to give Swaby credit because she did her job on the first time, but it's the deflection then, and Tejada stayed with it.
She just stayed with it, got that deflection, reached her leg out, and was able to really create something out of not much really being there. And Coach Roth talked about Tejada being a program-changing player, and that's the kind of thing that you need from those players in big-time moments.
So it's 2-1. Haven't even played 15 minutes yet, and 3 goals here at Illinois State. Delighted to be with you. One of 6 women's Division I games on NSCAA-TV. Carter will fall to the ground, cleared out of the back. Now Boston College, when they win it, they seem to have all kinds of space. They'll try to play it into it. Right at the top of the 18, the goalkeeper comes out, and there's Aaron Newsom. As Newsom now first in all-time program history with 38 victories. Going the other way, Illinois State's Lauren Kale. Daniel, I don't know how they keep up this pace, but if they do, this is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's end-to-end.
It is a beautiful day for the beautiful game, and seems like we're on a goal-scoring tear. Of course,
Allison Foley's done an amazing job at Boston College. Every year they're in the NCAA tournament, playing in perhaps the toughest conference, the ACC.
11 consecutive years they've been in the NCAA tournament. That's pretty fantastic.
Inside the 18, Tejada with Swaby on her. Tejada back across again. Boy, and looking for Leinert again. Leinert stays with it. There's Swaby. Good little fake, still kept in. Nope, they'll say it goes out of bounds, and there'll be a goal kick back now to Boston College.
And Tejada, when she's back to goal, is just fantastic. I mean, look at this. She's facing away from her goal, is able to take just a couple dynamic touches, get towards the end line, and serve a great ball across the front of the goal. My only critique would be if it could be on the ground all the way, then it probably would have been a little bit easier to finish.
Tejada came in with 1 goal and 4 assists. She now has 5 assists to add her point total, 146 points. The runaway points leader here at Illinois State. She's just 5 away from that goals record as she came in with 55 and 35. 2-1 Boston College. We played 15. Williams thought she was going to go for it. Instead, she gave more space to Boston College as Bernard is over there. She's everywhere. It's McCaffrey. McCaffrey keeps it down. Go out of bounds, back to Illinois State. All right, Danielle, 15 minutes in. Tell me what Illinois State needs to do to come back and get the equalizer.
Well, I think, first of all, I got to give a lot of credit to them by responding after that second goal. I mean, to be down 2-0 under 15 minutes could be a little bit depressing. So I like the idea and the mentality that they're going for right now. I think the next key for them on a technical side is to continue to use that width, continue to fight, and to continue to get numbers around the ball, especially defensively, because it looks like there's a little bit of space in there that Boston College is able to play in that I'd want to shore up just a bit more.
How about Boston College? Your thoughts after 15? Very impressive.
I think they're doing a good job. I mean, I think they're moving the ball well. They're finding the width, particularly as we see number 5 out here, Lauren Bernard. I'd like to see them to continue to move the ball even a little bit quicker. I think they can start to pull Illinois State apart a little bit more if their speed of play increases just a bit more.
Allie Farkas, number 12. Did the work a moment ago defensively. McCarter will lose it. Counterattack is on. McCaffrey's there. McCaffrey with a great stutter, back, and a corner kick. All McCaffrey right now.
I'm really impressed with her. She finds herself continually on that back line and then is able to make things happen even when her back is to goal. She can find players to run off of, and she can also look to turn and create chances herself.
2-1 Boston College coming over to take the corners. Lauren Bernard. Bernard with the left foot. Sent in. Newsom had it for a moment. She was fouled, though, and they'll restart from the back. The Redbirds will. Newsom, you see her right there. Her twin sister, Allie, was the holding midfielder for the team. Just left last year, as she's a redshirt senior. Erin is.
Goalkeeper of the year last year in her conference.
Van Deventer stepped forward as the center back to win it, trying to spring it long, but too long, and BC will settle now here with Allison Swaby, part of the U.S. U18 national team camp back in April. Abby Van Deventer. She's a converted forward back there. Definitely the rock of the defense, according to Drew Roth. Boy,
we talked about forwards being converted to backs. Also, Coco Woltz right here, a former forward converted to an outside back. And particularly in these In this formation, the 4-3-3 formation, former forwards make great outside backs because in that position, coaches often ask the right back and the left back to attack, to get forward. So not only can you kind of hide a forward back there and create another opportunity to get an attacking player on the ball, but you can also get some speed outside in the back line.
Goal kick back to Boston College. Illinois State coming off that loss to DePaul.
And I had a chance to watch that game in Chicago. And Illinois State, they had a fantastic start. They were all over DePaul in the first 20 minutes. I was really surprised that they weren't able to walk out with a goal. But unfortunately, DePaul came back and Illinois State wasn't able to come away with that win.
Middle of the field for Boston College. Playing it into space to Bernard. Bernard will get to it. Look at Bernard go. Bernard going around Stankowski. Sent back across. Trying to drop it again up top there to McCaffrey. It's so close to being 3-0. The scoreline right now is Boston College 2, Illinois State 1. You can visit the official NSCAA college scoreboard. Let's take a look first at this shot.
Well, and Lauren Bernard has done a fantastic job of using that outside wide space. 1v1 versus the Illinois State defender. Plays it across the box, and McCaffrey can't quite get enough to get it on target.
Score here 2-1. You can visit the official NSCAA college scoreboard at topdrawersoccer.com for all your video highlights and more. Topdrawersoccer.com. Trying to add to the scoreboard is Boston College. It was Olsen a moment ago. Now Illinois State will play it into space. Here comes the speedy Kale. Swaby comes over, bumps Kale off. It'll go off of Swaby, throw in to Illinois State. Solid counterattack here for the Redbirds.
Lauren Kale, just a sophomore for Illinois State. Last year out due to an ACL, like we mentioned, but technically improving. You can see she uses her athleticism to her ability. Possesses the ball very well.
Jeffrey got it started, then McCaffrey to make it 2-0 Boston College. It was answered back, though. Great assist from Rachel Tejada to Hannah Leinert, and that's where we are. 2-1, 24 minutes left here in the first half. Illinois State on the turn, Dagny Olsen. Olsen tries to stay with it. And cleared out of there by Madison Kenny, the left back. Track star was Madison Kenny at the state level in the 4x400 and 4x800. Throw in now for Stara Stankowski, was part of the all-MVC freshman team last year. Olsen. Good high pressure now for the team wearing the red jerseys. Illinois State. Kale. They were looking for Tejada, but Swaby was all over Tejada. Williams comes forward. Williams stays with it. Williams will shoot from distance, not on frame.
Good little opportunistic moment by number 17, Williams. The ball kind of got away from her, but she continued to run through it, kept going, and found herself only 25 yards away from goal. She thought, hey, why not? Let's take advantage. We see her running. She just taps it once, taps it twice, continues to run through the Boston College defenders and gets an opportunity on goal. Doesn't get a hold of it quite like she'd like, but I like that mentality, her willingness to run through the ball.
Subs are going to start to work their way on here. The teams are on the far side, so we'll try to give you as much information as we possibly can as the subs come in.
And I anticipate that we'll see quite a few subs out of Illinois State. They've had a number of games recently. I think this is their 4th game in the last 10 days or so. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple different jerseys running onto the field for the Redbirds.
Farkas had it, then lost it. And the Eagles not afraid to make you pay. Jeffrey, she shot one from about there and scored earlier. It'll fall here now to Bernard. Bernard just continues to fight. Abby Van Deventer will win it back. Look at Bernard again, just always in the way, and just that pressure leads to the throw-in for the Eagles.
Very proactive player.
Kenny will throw it into McCaffrey. And Van Deventer will win it again. Coming back for Boston College, McDonald plays into space here now to Bernard. Bernard with that left foot, sent across. And McCaffrey just comes out of nowhere. She's always there. That wasn't McCaffrey that time, actually. It was Haley Dowd.
Well, and that's the space that Boston College needs to continue to take advantage of, that space out wide. I would have liked it if Bernard just got a little bit closer to the end line, took a couple more touches. It would have allowed her forwards to get closer to ball and then also closer to the goal, and then also have more numbers running off the ball.
Swaby will come all the way back to Alex Johnson. She started 16 games a year ago. In high school, she recorded 50 shutouts in 79 games. That's pretty good.
Wow.
This will come back to Erin Newsom, who has those 38 victories. So she's your all-time wins leader in goal. And, of course, Rachel Tejada, your all-time points leader at Illinois State. Another shot for Dowd, not on frame. I'm impressed with how Boston College, they will absolutely put all kinds of pressure on the back four, and they will pounce on you.
And we see them just being very opportunistic. There we had, it looked like a little bit of a lull. Nobody knew if anyone was going to get it. Was it going to run to the goalkeeper? And we see number 21, Haley Dowd, just being opportunistic, running after it, looking to create something out of nothing.
Gabby McCarter, where's the captain's armband? Looking for Tejada, too strong. Speaking of high pressure, you see it right there now from Illinois State as Emily Dickman has come into the game now for the Redbirds. Dickman, a freshman from Marion, Illinois. $19 minutes left here in the first half. 3 goals came early. Started to settle down a little bit now, Danielle.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks like both teams have kind of found their rhythm. They both want to put the ball on the ground, possess it. But I also got to say, I like the energy that both teams continue to bring. They're trying to be opportunistic. We see Rachel Tejada just running through people. And on the other side, we see McCaffrey, Dowd also just trying to make the most of any opportunity that rises in front of the goal.
Swaby. All right, Danielle Slayton, you spent most of your time playing in the back or even at outside back. What are your thoughts on Swaby so far?
Well, I think Swaby's been doing a good job. She's playing in that central position. She's so athletic. She's so speedy. She's great at covering players. You can see right here she uses her body well. She always puts her body in between the ball and the attacker. I'd like to see her continue to move the ball a little bit more quickly, but she's a freshman. She's 18 years old. This is her, what, 7th college game? So I think that will come because as you make the jump from club and high school to the college game, you realize that everything moves a little bit faster.
There is Swaby again. She is extremely poised, that's for sure. Jillian Lutz now in there, number 8 for Allison Foley, Mark McDevitt, Mike Levine, and Christy Zerhulin. One back here by Illinois State. Dickman plays a great ball into Tejada. Tejada off the crossbar. Leinert's over there. Tejada with her hands to her head. Thought that was the equalizer. And you see it again now, her hands to her head. Boy, she is dangerous, though.
And the most dangerous players can kind of tied for a little bit. I mean, we might have lost track of her, and then all of a sudden we see a great ball in. The timing is perfect. She's onside, takes a touch, and you know what? She just gets her head and her chest up at the last second, and she is devastated with those hands on her head, knowing that all she had to do is get that ball down by 6 inches, and it would be a goal.
2-1. Thought it was 2-2 right there. As Rachel Tejada on her 55 goals. I tell you what, most people would have said that would have been number 56. She's so dangerous in front of the goal. Well done, though, by Alex Johnson to close the gap. But you said it best. The service there from Emily Dickman off the bench here for Drew Rolfe was a great pass.
And the defenders just needed to drop off a little bit more because she had just way too much time. Rachel was able to make a perfect run, stay on sides. Great execution except for that last shot on goal by Illinois State.
Home to Redbird Soccer here, Normal, Illinois. Illinois State, your host. First time they've been on a national platform like this for a game. Super excited was Drew Rolfe and all the players.
I gotta say, like a day like today, a field like today, television game like today, it makes me miss this game and want to be out there.
Perfect day to be playing soccer. Good work back by Sarah Stankowski. Made the All-MVC freshman team a year ago, appearing in 22 matches with 18 starts, including the final 10 and 16 of the last 18. Played for the Sockers FC, and Stankowski with the throw-in. KO off of Dickman, now one back by DeDio. Here's Bernard. Bernard down near the end line. She'll cross it and calmly sent out of there by Illinois State. One back again by DiMartino and then lost. Tejada's going to put some pressure on that back line. Tejada will stay with it. Way out of the line. Off Tejada. Are you kidding me? Off Tejada. Look at the effort from Rachel Tejada. How many center forwards work like that?
That's senior leadership, senior effort. Right now she has put this Illinois State team on her back, and she's trying to find any possible way that she can to make a difference. We see here right here, it's just a pretty soft ball hit by Meg McDonald back to her goalkeeper. And look at how quickly Tejada closes that gap. Not quite quick enough to get it on target, but let me tell you, that is inspiring to watch.
Danielle Slayton, of course, won a championship for the Carolina Courage. You know the adjustment to make it to the next level. Rachel Tejada, I know you saw the DePaul game, weren't totally sure. You see her now with that explosiveness. What do you think? Could she make that jump?
I think she could, and let me tell you, when I saw her play against DePaul, she was playing more in a midfield role. I like her in the center forward position better. She's opportunistic. I mean, I could just see her combining off some of the great names that we have in this women's soccer game. I think she's certainly somebody who can kind of come off the bench and lift an NWSL team. Next year, we'll see if she gets drafted after her season.
Danielle and I talked to Drew Rolfe a couple days ago, and he certainly feels like she's in the top 10 center forwards. He wanted to even say top 5 and then hedged a little bit, but certainly a great player up top, Tejada. Illinois State, look at Swaby. She just doesn't seem to panic, almost just glides like a gazelle. Like you wonder if there's another gear, but she may not even need one. 2-1 Boston College. Bringing you 20 Division I games here on NSCAA-TV, and this is the third and 4 games. Rob Kehoe, the Director of College Services for the NSCAA, putting together another great package. Saw a big crowd on Friday night as Maryland and UMBC played to a 0-0 tie. Over 7,000 people in attendance. Tejada stays with it. How did she get to it? Illinois State. Tejada wants it back. She was open for a second. Dickman comes over in support. There's Dickman, can't quite get to it. Cleared out by Madison Kenny. Middle of the park. Illinois State not backing down from the ACC's Boston College Eagles. DeDio.
This is great transition to attack by Boston College. Look at how quickly they get forward.
McCaffrey Had Bernard on the left. McCaffrey gets it to Bernard. Bernard with 2 red jerseys in front of her. Keeps possession, drops it back here to Kenny. Kenny with that right foot, good ball in. Wow, nice touch there by Haley Dowd, but can't get it on frame. Boy, that triple-edged sword of Bernard, McCaffrey, and Dowd, they have stayed in here and played all of the first half. Dowd may get a break right now, well-deserved break from those front 3.
And the great thing about college soccer here, let's take a quick look. Service into the box. Dowd tries to run onto it and gets a touch to it. Does a great job to get inside her defender, number 25, Gabby McCarter. But that's a tough ball to do anything when you're running at that pace and it comes down. Great job to just get a foot on it.
Jillian Lutz into the game, wearing number 8. And it's Lutz on it now. Bernard. Bernard got off the bus ready to run, and she and McCaffrey. It's got to be a fun game to play as well. You know there's going to be multiple goal-scoring opportunities, and that's why you play. This will come all the way back to Kenny. Kenny has Johnson, and Johnson feeling the pressure is crashing in there was Hannah Rogers, who's come off the bench, wearing number 2 for Illinois State, and Drew Roth. Here's Rogers. She'll stay with it. Back across again. Almost popped up on a handball on McDonald. McCaffrey. McCaffrey with Illinois State tracking back. Goes around Van Deventer. McCaffrey. She can deal. Kept low. It'll be a corner kick for Boston College. And dare I say, it's the Stephanie McCaffrey show.
It's great work by number 9, center forward Stephanie McCaffrey. If I'm Illinois State, what I think they need to do is just get a little bit better, tighter pressure on her. They're so worried about her speed and her technical ability that they're kind of dropping off. And because they're dropping off, she's really able to do anything that she wants. It got to be a little closer and then provide good cover and defend together.
Under 10 minutes, the Eagles with the corner kick. Pressure there on Newsom. And far post. Newsom couldn't really get a lot of power behind that punch, so the Eagles had another shot at it, but not on frame. Drew Roth giving a lot of credit to Leanna Bordner, who is the Deputy Director of Athletics for Illinois State. We'll talk to her in the second half as she's played a key role in the development. They're also brought lights in here now, so Illinois State will host the Missouri Valley Conference on television here in Normal, Illinois. That'll be a big deal at the end of the season.
I gotta tell you, night games were my favorite games in college. And when I was coaching at Northwestern, for the first couple of years I was there, we didn't have lights and then got lights added, and I gotta tell you, it made all of the difference.
Well, they called McCaffrey offside. I wasn't sure about that. He was obviously left a step early. McCarter comes forward. There's that feistiness that Drew Roth was talking about. She was able to win it. Illinois State trying to bring some numbers with it. Giving away, though. Boston College, you got to be careful. Played up top to Bernard. Bernard, top of the 18. This is dangerous. Newsom hesitated and then made the decision to go get it. I like that decision.
I agree. I thought she was going to get caught in no man's land, but then she was convicted. She stepped off of her line. Great decision. Good job to smother it before Bernard could get on to the end of it.
Illinois State trying to switch fields. Now they keep it on the ground. McCarter is on it. McCarter will cut it into her own space. McCarter down the left side and in. McCarter's gone 20. Back across again. Tejada with a touch. Top of the 18. Tejada can turn. She does. Can't get any mustard behind it, though, and it'll go right to Johnson. That entire attack, give credit number 25, Gabby McCarter.
As a former left back, I have to say, I love that. I mean, she's on the end line, making those 60, 70, 80-yard runs. Fantastic opportunity created by Gabby McCarter.
Tejada will come out as she'll get a short break here with 7 minutes. Definitely doing the work up top. Is coming on for Illinois State is number 16, Carrie Kujawa. Could be 2-2 right here. Bumped off, kept alive. Goalkeeper takes down the player, going for the ball though, so Doug Wolf says play on. One back here by Illinois State. Brooke Sizik kept alive, top of the 18, looking to find Carrie Kujawa. Just came in for Rachel Tejada. Kept alive again by Olsen. One back by Dickman. Dickman now on it. It was Dickman who thread that perfect pass to Tejada, who had it just sail over the crossbar. Farkas plays it now to Rogers. Shot from distance. A little bit of sun to deal with out there, but Johnson able to handle it.
It's a good little combination play by Illinois State. When we talked to Coach Roth, he said he wanted to be a team and a program that's known for being creative and taking risks, having ideas in attack, and we see a little bit of combination play in the midfield, capped off by a shot on goal. Easy save for number 0, Alex Johnson, but I like where Illinois State's going in this last 10 minutes of the game.
Comes Boston College again. It was McCaffrey who did all the work there again, then sent the cross over. Jillian Lutz to Bernard. Bernard and McCaffrey have gone the distance. Dowd has gone to the bench. Madison Kenny back to McCaffrey. McCaffrey. She'll take on anybody and multiple players at that.
And with just 5 minutes left, if I'm Coach Foley, I'm thinking about what I'm going to tell my team at halftime. I've liked the work of McCaffrey. I've liked the work of Bernard. I'd like to see them change the point of attack a little bit. So when they're on this left side here, they tend to get caught up a little bit. I'd like to see them change it and try to attack the open space a little bit more. And we start to see some of these subs that happen in the last couple of minutes of the first half, because in college soccer, unlike in the professional game where you can't come back and re-enter the game, in college soccer, players can come in and start again in the second half. So Coach Foley's just trying to give McCaffrey a couple minutes break, extra 4 minutes, get her a little extra rest during halftime, and I'm guessing we'll see her again starting the second half.
Foul on Boston College, so Illinois State here with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half, looking for that equalizer. They have had chances to tie it.
I was going to say the exact same thing. If I'm Coach Drew Roth and I'm thinking about what I'm going to tell my team at halftime, I'm going to say we need to continue to bring that energy, to be opportunistic, to try to force the Boston College back line to make a mistake and then take advantage of it. They also need to keep creating opportunities and combining. He wants them to play. He wants them to be like sophisticated and take risks, and I think they need to continue to try to build on that in the second 45.
Played up top here for the Redbirds. Doug Wolf will go back to the initial spot, so it'll be a restart center circle here for the Redbirds. Illinois State soccer on NSCAA-TV, giving some love here to the Missouri Valley Conference as they welcome in the ACC's Boston College Eagles, and the score, Boston College 2, Illinois State 1. Farkas with the right foot into the 18, handled by Alex Johnson. Alex Johnson, a senior from Westwood, Mass. Actually played at the same high school in the Boston area as Coco Waltz as well. We talked about it earlier. Some of those combinations pay off at the college level, either in youth club or high school. Scoreline stays like this. We hope to have Allison Foley right at the end of the first half. Deal number 24 got this one started as it falls to Lutz. Now to Deal, back here to DiMartino.
And that's the exact change of point that I'd like to see out of Boston College, just a little bit more quick.
Go out of bounds and come back to Illinois State, and the Redbirds faithful like it here in Normal, Illinois. They've won the MVC regular season last year. They also won it 4 years in a row from 2007 to 2011. They won the tournament the last 3 years. They've been to the NCAA tournament the last 4 years. Actually, they won the tournament the last 4 years as well. Every year but 2010, that is. 25 seconds, Illinois State. Can they get one more shot at it? They spring it wide. Kujawa. And Dickman can make it 2-2. Oh my. She had really just a one-on-one opportunity, and in those final 10 seconds, Dickman not able to do it.
I mean, she finds herself in the perfect spot. Look at this, wide open, inside the penalty box. She gets her head up. It's almost like she had too much time. She was trying to place it perfectly, couldn't quite put it away.
So after 45 minutes of play, it's the visitors from the ACC, Boston College 2, and your hosts here from Illinois State at 1.
I do have to say, though, in this last few minutes, it does seem like Illinois State was really able to get a little bit more of the run of play. We saw Dickman right at the end of the half. We saw Tejada with a goal or a shot that bounced off the crossbar. They've had opportunities, but couldn't quite get that equalizer.
Watching NSCAA-TV. Here, halftime, Illinois State, as Allison Foley works her way over to talk to us. Take a look now at the Disney Soccer Player of the Week, and having a big week from Holy Cross is Allie Spencer.
And she's a freshman forward, great start to her college career. They had wins over LIU Brooklyn and New Hampshire this past weekend. Versus LIU Brooklyn, she was able to score a hat trick, just the 14th in school history.
All right, Allison Foley looking to get on headset. So we'll put her on headset right now. Allison Foley, the head coach of Boston College. 2 goals from the Eagles. It's been a back and forth contest. Your thoughts, Coach?
Yeah, you know, I thought we had a really good rhythm early on in the game. I think when they scored, it got us out of our rhythm a little bit, and then they had a couple other opportunities. So we just have to go back to our game, get back on the ball, move the ball east to west, and let the game open up, let the seams open up, and then get our forwards in that way.
Like you mentioned, they were able to get a little bit of momentum, create a couple of chances late in that first half. What are you going to tell your team at halftime to be able to gain that momentum back and really play how you want to play in the next 45?
Yeah, we've got to do a better job of denying bigger balls over the top, so a little bit more pressure from our 3 front. We've got to be able to double down on 14. She's laying a lot of balls off, and you know, we don't necessarily need her to do that. So if we tighten up those 2 things, I think we'll be in good shape.
Coach, thanks for making the run across. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, Allison Foley, the head coach of Boston College, and she'll have to run all the way back across the field up 2-1. Let's take a look now at the NSCAA Continental Tire Top 10, and UCLA, under Amanda Cromwell in her first year, won the national championship a year ago, and she's still has the Bruins at number 1.
And we see both UCLA and Stanford out of the Pac-12 in that top 5, but at number 2, at number 3, and at number 5, we've got ACC teams. Florida State, Virginia, and Virginia Tech continue to be dominant teams in the country and in their conference.
Florida State and Texas Tech will be featured right here on NSCAA-TV. Your top 10 presented by Continental Tire, proud to be the sponsor of the NSCAA Continental Tire Rankings, and every game right here on NSCAA-TV. It's halftime in Normal, Illinois. Going to take a break with Boston College on top of Illinois State. 2-1. You're watching NSCAA-TV.
Imagine your future, the places, the possibilities. Where might your aspirations, interests, and abilities take you? Illinois State University is where your true talents are discovered, nurtured, and put to work. We cultivate leaders, build careers, and ignite your passion to impact our world. State your passion at Illinois State University.
You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
The broadcast of this match is authorized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the NSCAA is strictly prohibited. The Pep Band is out here at Illinois State, home to Redbird Soccer, representing the Missouri Valley Conference and getting it done under the direction of head coach Drew Roth, now in his 8th season, and I caught up with him before the game. Here with Drew Roth, the head coach of Illinois State. And Drew, I know a lot of excitement for the program to be on NSCAA-TV. Talk about putting this together.
Well, a lot of people put a lot of effort to get this here today, and you know, I think it's just a sign that our program has progressed to the level where you know, we feel like we're very comfortable hosting a big event like this, and we host our conference tournament later in the year for the first time in history, and this is great preparation for that.
Now in your 8th season, it's been a great run. Last year, though, really took it all. 2013, winning a game in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that was a huge step for us. We'd been knocking on the door, but we weren't able to get over that hurdle of actually advancing in the tournament. So to get over that hurdle and know that we can do it, now it kind of opens the door, and hopefully that's something that we can continue to do.
Your all-time leader in points, Rachel Tejada, now a senior. How special of a player?
She's a program-changing type player. When you have a player on the field that can you know, strike at any time, it kind of changes things, and she's really helped you know, put us on a map on a national scale, and her impact will be felt, I think, for a lot of years to come.
You don't need to play teams like Texas A&M and Boston College. Why do you do it?
It's great to test our team. I think you really find out about your players and find out about your team, and I think you learn lessons that'll help you down the road. So we love to challenge ourselves, and I think one of the reasons why we've had success in the postseason is because those early season lessons have paid off.
Finally, you played for the great Joe Baum. He's still with us, by the way. What did you learn from him?
Joe's a great person, and I learned that you know, the game's very important, but you also have to enjoy life, and you have to treat people with respect, and you have to enjoy the day. And Joe was just a great man to look up to, and he's someone that I learned a lot from as a player.
Good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Now's your chance to be part of the most popular soccer camp in North America. Challenger Sports offers a wide range of programs with over 3,000 British soccer, Tetra Brazil, and Soccer Plus camps for players of all ages and abilities. Join me and Challenger's talented and committed coaches as we help develop new skills, build confidence, and find the magic in your game.
Summer camps are filling up. Register early at challengersports.com and get your free game jersey today.
We must increase our bust.
Hello, my eyes are up here. I hope it stays up.
Cleavage, finally.
Sure, I worry about breast cancer.
Don't take this journey alone. I'm a fighter.
The relationship with your breast is lifelong. Share the journey with the support and expertise of Advocate Healthcare. Join the conversation at storiesofthegirls.com.
Imagine your future, the places, the possibilities. Where might your aspirations, interests, and abilities take you? Illinois State University is where your true talents are discovered, nurtured, and put to work. We cultivate leaders, build careers, and ignite your passion to impact our world. State your passion at Illinois State University.
Back to Illinois State. It's halftime here with Boston College from the ACC on top of the Missouri Valley Conference's Illinois State Redbirds by a score of 2-1. Dean Linke along with former national champion Danielle Slayton. We'll go to the highlights here. And early on in this one, it was truly end-to-end.
Well, and I thought actually that Boston College might run away with it. They get 2 early goals. This first one comes from Jana Jaffrey, a score from distance, kind of catching Aaron Newsom offside. And then the second goal is number 9, McCaffrey. She just takes on 2-3 defenders, puts it away. But let me tell you, Illinois State, they did not say die. And Tejada, Rachel Tejada, number 14, continuing to work, serving the ball across to her teammate, finishing it simply, easily as Hannah Leinert. And let me tell you, Illinois State continued to fight. They continued to stay in it. They're getting effort from everywhere. We see number 17, Williams, taking a shot on goal. She is a defender. And then we see Dickman playing another perfect ball into Tejada. She's devastated. She didn't get this one on target because, let me tell you, the momentum was certainly swinging Illinois State's way in the second half.
So close, as you thought Dickman had the equalizer. You thought maybe even Tejada did as well. We'll come back, hopefully talk to head coach Drew Roth, get his thoughts on the first 45. Right now, it's Boston College 2, Illinois State 1 right here on NSCAA-TV.
The Birds versus in-state rival Eastern Illinois, Saturday, September 13th at noon.
Welcome back here to Illinois State. Dean Linke along with Danielle Slayton, and joined now by the great head coach of the Redbirds, Drew Roth. And Drew, got to love the fight of your team. Down 2, never gave up. Probably should be leading right now. Well done.
Absolutely. Yeah, we responded really well. Unfortunately, gave up a couple early ones, but showed a lot of fight and clawed our way back into it. And hopefully we can even this thing up here pretty quick.
So, simple question. How do you get the equalizer and get back in this game?
Well, like I said, I think we need to continue to use the width. I think we need to continue to keep the ball and try to do some of the same things we've been doing. We've had some success breaking them down, and Tejada's drawing a lot of attention, and some other players are getting through on goal. So Nothing fancy. We just need to stick to the game plan, and hopefully one of those will go in.
Drew, do me a favor. Look up to us up here and tell us how much you love working here for the Redbirds and all the support you're getting.
I love it here at ISU. They treat me really well, and every year we get some more resources and more things to operate with, and I couldn't be happier. It's a great place to be.
Thanks for having us here on NSCAA-TV. Do appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Drew Roth, the fine head coach of Illinois State. It's 2-1 at halftime, and I like his confidence down there. I mean, why not? They probably could be leading this one against a very good Boston College team.
They've been playing really well and certainly got the momentum in the second part of that second half.
All right, we're going to take one more break, come back for the second half kickoff. Illinois State 1, Boston College 2.
The NSCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Always nice to see who you wander across in the hallways, might have a quick word with.
I think it's exciting to meet youth coaches and high school coaches and even college coaches who are all really passionate about the sport.
It's a learning experience. I think it's invaluable both from a coach standpoint and from an administrative standpoint.
I had a coach named Ziggy Schmidt. He got a hold of me at 18 years old. It was great for me because, you know, he was strict on us, he was strong with us, but he was very fair. I have to make time for the things I want to do. I want to get better at my sport. I have to take some time, set time aside and do that. Really taught me about the game in general, and tactics, you know, how to watch a game, how to see a game. A lot of the lessons I learned from Ziggy I kept with me throughout my whole career. And it was good because, you know, I always wonder what my path would have been like if I had a different coach.
See what you're made of. Have you ever coached under 12s before? Can't say I have. You're not a team. You don't deserve to be a team. Sorry, I showed you that. It's not just about football. It's about dreams.
Back here in Normal, Illinois, home to Illinois State. It's Illinois State 1, Boston College 2. Getting ready to start the second half. And Illinois State in their red, white, and red will handle it. I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be with Danielle Slayton here on NSCAA-TV, the first of 6 women's games, part of our 20-game package here at the Division I level for NCAA on NSCAA-TV and presented by Continental Tire. And pushing forward here again for Illinois State is Gabby McCarter. McCarter, the left back, and the captain with the right foot. Back across, right in front, went right through the hands of Alex Johnson. And didn't touch anybody, but that's an impressive first 30 seconds here for the Redbirds.
Well, Coach Roth, he just talked about how he liked the response of his team after giving up 2 goals. And here we see Gabby McCarter getting all the way into the attack. She crosses it over to her right foot before trying to serve it into the box. And goalkeeper just didn't get a hand on it. It was floated in there. That would have been a great opportunity as an equalizer for Illinois State.
Danielle, the goalkeeper, Alex Johnson, didn't get a hand on it, but surprisingly, Rachel Tejada wasn't able to get any part of her body on it because she's normally so dangerous, and thought she scored earlier. Tejada wants that one back. Another hand to the head right after that opportunity, and you get the feeling you give Tejada a couple more of those, and she's going to put it in the back of the net.
She's knocking on the door, certainly.
Swaby plays it to Coco Woltz, the junior. McCaffrey is truly electrifying, fearless. Sends the cross. Hannah Leinert, she had the goal in the first half as Swaby will play it back to Johnson. Johnson with that right foot, delivers one right down the middle. He'll bounce one time. First ball won by Abby Van Deventer. Kale. Tejada. A couple players knocked off of Tejada. One back by Illinois State. Farkas to the left. McCarter will first time it. Can McCarter earn a corner kick? She can. Corner kick, Illinois State. Farkas with the corner, wearing number 12. Red jerseys into the box. Header by Leinert. Almost snapped one back across the frame, but a little bit too high.
Good driven service towards the near post by number 12, Allie Farkas. And Hannah Leinert does a good job to get her head on it, but she doesn't quite get over the ball and head it down, which is why it gets up over the crossbar.
Whistle, foul on Boston College. And make no mistake, the first 4 minutes here have belonged to the home team of the second half, Illinois State. Farkas again, looking for Tejada and Johnson. McCarter, Farkas. Now Leinert. Leinert back to Farkas. Farkas to Tejada. Tejada back to Leinert. She was hoping that Tejada was going to go ahead and spin. Tejada sat the last 6 minutes of the first half, so hopefully she's rested, ready to go. Stepping in just in time there is Cizik. She'll get it out wide to Olsen. Olsen now to Kale. Kale down near the corner flag. It'll be a throw in for Illinois State.
Illinois State, Dean, they certainly have that belief, don't they? They're just willing to go after it. They don't care that they're down 2-1. They know that they're playing well. They know they've had some opportunities. You can see that in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, the field leaning left here for Illinois State, at least in the first 5 minutes. Still high pressure there as Sarah Stankowski, the sophomore from Carroll Stream, Illinois, along with Lauren Kale. And boy, Boston College is finally able to clear it. It'll go off of Illinois State, and Boston College just hoping to pass midfield. Keep in mind on January 14th through 18, the 2015 NSCAA Convention. It is the world's biggest soccer show. Everybody is there. The MLS draft takes place there, the NWSL draft. The best clinicians of the world. Registration now open. Go to nscaa.com/convention. Back across, looking for Leinert. Now Swaby in a foot race with Tejada. Tejada did well to shoulder Swaby off of it. Look at Tejada on the turn. Swaby all over. Can't get it away from Tejada. Tough ball back and won by Boston College. Now a foul on Farkas. It'll go to Boston College. Farkas with a little wave off to Doug Wolf.
And so far, I have to say, I think that it's been a really well-called match. It's been a fair match. Both teams are certainly fighting and going after it, but it hasn't been dirty at all. Both of these teams, they just want to play good soccer, and it's really evident today here by the way they're trying to compete and the way they're playing.
McCaffrey, so good. Scored a goal in the first half. Jeffrey with that bomb, the first goal for Boston College. Flag is up, offside, far side, Boston College. It'll come back to Illinois State. They trail 2-1.
And when I was coaching, it was so frustrating to me when forwards were offsides like that, particularly on the side of the field, because she can look all the way across the field and see that she's offsides. All she needs to do is just back up a little bit, take 2 or 3 steps back, time that run just a tad better, and she'll be onside.
Leinert into Olsen. Olsen can shoot it. Olsen kept down. Oh my, just missed it, far post. Good little touch, took an angle, tried to go back across the goal. And Dagny Olsen just a little too wide, Danielle.
That's a great run out of midfield by number 18, Dagny Olsen. Perfect ball played in here by Leinert, and unfortunately, Olsen's first touch just lets her down a little bit and actually takes her away from the goal instead of towards it, which makes it really difficult to shoot from such a severe angle.
Dagny Olsen got a couple goals on the season with an assist already. Leinert into space to Olsen again. Tejada's inside the 18. Let's see if Olsen can get to it. Heavy touch, and it goes over the end line, and it'll be a goal kick back to the Eagles. Carter, I absolutely do love the feistiness of this left back here for Drew Roth and Illinois State as they play it to Leinert. One of the smallest on the field, but just plays huge.
And when we talked to Coach Roth earlier in the week, he talked about how she's not only a smart player, but she's mighty, and she's got the heart of a lion, and really you can tell that the team responds to the way she plays. She's a captain on this team. She's a senior, part of a class that's been one of the winningest classes in Illinois State history, and I love how she gets forward. I love how she's willing to fight. Gosh, look at that space. So much space in between the midfield line and the back line of Illinois State. McCaffrey does a good job to find herself in that seam and create chances off it.
Flag is up, offside on Boston College.
Again, Lauren Bernard, just a tad offside. She's so close. She's just got to pull her run away a little bit more. She's so eager to get in behind the defense, but she's got to stay onside.
Coming the other way is Illinois State. Leinert trying to run it down, and Swaby can't get to it. Throw in for McCarter. Olsen on the turn. Has Tejada in front of her, and Olsen will miss-hit that. That'll give us a perfect opportunity to welcome in Leanna Bordner, the senior women's administrator and deputy director of athletics here at the great school here in Normal, Illinois, talking about Illinois State. And Leanna, thanks for joining us here on NSCAA-TV.
Hey, happy to be here, and just really, really pleased that you're here today to broadcast this game, and what a game it is. It's
fantastic. You know, Drew Roth, just so you know, everybody at Illinois State's been fantastic. Zach, everybody, first class. But you know what? They said they deserved the national attention, and they're right. Very good program.
Well, Drew's done a great job since he's been here and had great success with conference championships and NCAA and 5 regular season championships, 4 Missouri Valley tournament titles, 4 NCAA appearances, and then certainly last year our record-setting win at Louisville. And, you know, the only Valley team and obviously Illinois State team to advance to the second round. And we were at that Louisville game, and Russ Smith, who, as many people might recognize, a guard on Louisville men's basketball team, was behind Erin throughout the entire game, giving her a little bit of business.
Is that right?
And when we won in the shootout, he actually went up and congratulated her and told her what a great job she had done, as well as the whole Illinois State team. So very, very proud of all of our student athletes. We have a lot of good talent. We had a lot of young talent. Hannah Leinert last year as a freshman, Missouri Valley Freshman of the Year.
Here's a shot. Hang on, oh my, from Boston College. I hate to do it to you, Leanna Bordner. They're not supposed to score when you're up here. And Boston College, though, one of the top ACC teams. And they make it 3-1. Take a look at it here again. And McCaffrey has been so good. Stephanie McCaffrey gets inside the 18, playing for the U.S. under-23s. It'll deflect and bounce back. And pouncing on it there is Haley Dowd. And Haley Dowd over the aforementioned Erin Newsom, and it's 3-1. And Leanna, I'll ask you to look away. That didn't happen, okay? Don't you worry about it.
That's all right. You know, that's the thing about Drew. He is not afraid to take on great competition. And through the years, that's what he has done, and it really, really helps in the postseason, in our conference. And the only way you're going to get better is to play really good teams, and obviously we're matched up against a really good team today.
No doubt about it. And Illinois State, a couple opportunities missed in the first half, or they might have been leading it as well. And so proud is this university of this team that you're going to be hosting the Missouri Valley Conference Soccer Championships later this year. Lights here as well. It's fantastic.
Yes, we've been disappointed the last few years. We can't bid because we don't have lights, so we made the commitment to get the lights as well. This is the second year of the turf. As well as the enhancements with the bench covers and all of the banners. And we have more we want to do. We're going to concrete as soon as the lights get up. We have 3 poles up, 3 more we hope this week, and some other enhancements we want to make, and certainly our program deserves it.
Leanna Bordner, the Senior Women's Administrator and Deputy Director of Athletics here at Illinois State. And finally, tell everybody what makes this university so special. You've obviously been here a while. You got to love it.
I've been here 22 years, and I was an assistant college basketball coach at 3 institutions prior to that. And I'm a firm believer that people make places. You can have bricks and mortar, but it's the people in those buildings and facilities that really make it a special place. And we have a great staff. We have great support. Our president was out here earlier today. Now he's on his way to our women's golf tournament that we're hosting, and it starts at the top. And we're very, very fortunate. We've had great leadership both from the president's office, board of trustees, our director of athletics, Larry Lyons. So it's a team effort, but all really good people all over town and on campus. So everybody's a Redbird.
There's nothing normal about normal. It really is fantastic.
That's right.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you. Again, we appreciate you being here today and showing the fine women's soccer that we have today on the pitch.
We love it. Good luck. We'll see you in the NCAA tournament again, okay?
Thank you.
Leanna Bordner, the Senior Women's Administrator and Deputy Director of Athletics, kind enough to stop by. And, boy, everybody here at Normal, Illinois, part of Illinois State, Danielle Slayton, really has been first class, Leanna included.
Makes me want to go to school here, kind of.
Right? Is she awesome?
And the weather's always like this, right? Right?
Yeah, always. No snow here, just a couple hours outside of Chicago. Illinois State, I felt bad for Leanna as another goal. They can make it here. 3-2, and Tejada stopped again there by Alex Johnson. Didn't matter. The flag was up. But that's got to frustrate Tejada a little bit, even with the flag up.
She is right there. She's so close. Literally, it's a game of inches, and she was just a couple of inches offsides here. But the fact that she's continuing to work at it, to find ways to get in behind the defender. We see a great ball, well-timed run, just a couple of feet offsides. Alex Johnson comes up huge to make the save, but like you mentioned, Dina, wasn't needed.
McCaffrey could pounce here. McCaffrey, she'll create her own space, kept down and handled there by Erin Newsom as it's 3-1.
I feel like we're watching the U.S. Open a little bit. It's to the right, to the left. I mean, things are going back and forth all day long. There's been some exciting attacks on both sides of the field.
Serena Williams going for today, I do believe, right?
Yep.
Three to 1, Boston College. I really did feel bad for Leanna as Haley Dowd scoring her 4th goal to lead Boston College just as she comes on the air. The curse of the interview. Williams, multiple ACL tears, still looking strong. Kept alive by Olsen. He'll fall here now to Zizek. Zizek gets it out wide. And Kale is trying to get it to Olsen. Emily Hoffen now in for Allison Foley. Swaby with a little bit of trouble. Swaby will lose it. Tejada was all over it. One in the middle by Illinois State. They're down 3-1. They continue to fight. And Leanna said it best. Drew Roth, they don't need to take on Texas A&M or these teams, but they always do. They played like 3 Big Ten teams last year. on the turn, back across. Tejada's there, right in front of the goal. No whistle yet. Tejada's still there. I got to believe there's a little bit of frustration now for Tejada. She's found herself in front of the net.
And she's only has 1 goal on the season. She's got 4 or 5 assists after the one today. And she finds herself in the right spot time and time again. But it's almost like she's thinking a little bit. She's up in the air trying to finish that on a full volley. That's a difficult ball to finish. I'd just like to tell her, just take a deep breath, get composed, get your shoulders facing the target, make it easy for yourself. She's so amped and she's so excited. Just want her to calm down a bit because clearly she's got it in her. She just hasn't quite been able to execute.
McCaffrey's kind of on an island up there right now, but McCaffrey on an island, no matter how many jerseys around, she's still dangerous.
And it's a little bit of the formation. So defensively, sometimes when you play a 4-3-3, it might look a little bit more like a 4-5-1 because those 2 outside forwards can drift back a little bit into the midfield. The thing about Boston College, though, is once they play it to McCaffrey, she's pretty good at holding the ball, so it allows those forwards and those attacking center midfielders to get up, get forward, so she will have numbers around the ball at that point.
The voice of Danielle Slayton, won a national championship at Santa Clara back in 2001. A year later, won a WSA championship for the Carolina Courage.
You were there for that.
That was outstanding. So much fun from worst to first with the arrival of D. Slate. Farkas had it for a moment. Now McCaffrey. There's Sizek coming over to support. I like that adjustment by Drew Roth coming back to help on McCaffrey.
And I think both teams, we've seen a lot of attack on both sides of the ball, both from Boston College and from Illinois State. And I think both teams in the second half, and as they continue to progress into the conference season and even into the NCAA tournament potentially, they need to continue to work on defending together, covering together. Illinois State in particular, once they have one person who goes to the ball to try to defend, McCaffrey, for example, Haley Dowd right here, they need another player close to help and support and cover her so it's not 1v1 all over the field.
We'll see if they'll give that help that Danielle Slayton just talked about. They come over for a second on McCaffrey as she tracks back. McCaffrey looking for options. She'll drop it here quickly now to Bernard. Bernard in and out of the 18. Back to McCaffrey. Still in the 18 is Emily Hoffman wearing number 7. She's off the bench for Allison Foley, the fond head coach of Boston College. What a job she's done. Last 11, making it into the tournament. Pretty impressive. It's not easy to navigate the ACC as well.
And doing it time and time again. Obviously, they've had some success in their conference, making it to the NCAA tournament, but also really producing quality players. Christy Mewis, who's in with the national team right now in the tournament, in the game that they're going to play against Mexico, out of Boston College, a fantastic midfielder who's making waves on a national and international stage.
So the first 10 was all Illinois State. Now Boston College able to pounce and make it 3-1, and they continue to pressure. Let's see what Illinois State can do. Squared. Not the best decision that time from Liner, but look at her come back. Knew the pass wasn't there. I love that when a player makes a mistake, comes back and gets it right back, Danielle.
I agree. I mean, you don't celebrate your mistake. You just go immediately to try and fix it.
Youth clubs and players want to be noticed by the top college programs, and the NSCAA can help. Through its partnership with Elite Tournaments, the NSCAA College Showcase connects you with college coaches so you can show off your talents. Clubs, players, and college coaches can find more information on nscaa.com/events. Farkas trying to thread the needle to Tejada. And Alex Johnson. I feel like Johnson's been a little more steady here in the second half.
And I think it's because This is going to sound crazy. It's actually because of the forwards. And when I say that, it's because the forwards and the midfielders are able to get better pressure on the ball, which makes it easier for the defenders and the goalkeepers to read any balls that are coming through, so she can more easily kind of clean it up and read those balls a little bit better off the line.
Williams. Ooh, trouble here. It'll bounce to Leinert. Leinert looking to keep it alive, and now they're starting to help each other a little bit more, Danielle, like you talked about.
And that mistake right there, you could hear Alex Johnson yell for it, keep, but she did it just a little bit too late. She just needs to be a little bit earlier in that call, and then that little mishap wouldn't have happened.
Van Deventer loses it. McCaffrey could make you pay. McCaffrey's got Hoffman on the right. McCaffrey is in. McCaffrey will shoot. Not on frame. And quick hand slap there for McCaffrey. She is relentless. Here come the subs now here in the second half. Sun is out. Still just a beautiful day, though. There's been worse playing conditions than this one. This is absolutely, I mean, fantastic.
It's like my home state of California.
Take a look at that last opportunity from McCaffrey.
And here we see McCaffrey taking on the Illinois State backline. And what I'm talking about with regards to cover is there needs to be 2 Illinois State defenders right there. So when McCaffrey looks to take that long touch towards her left foot, a second defender can come and scoop that ball right up so she doesn't get a shot on goal. Good possession by Boston College, but you got to move it quicker. I'd love to see them play 1, 2, 3 touches and then quickly change the point of attack.
McCaffrey offside. Halfway through here, the second half, and Illinois State came out truly with guns blazing, and it looked like they're going to have the equalizer. In fact, 30 seconds into the second half, it didn't go in, and Boston College able to take advantage of a limited opportunity here in the second half and give them that comfortable 2-goal lead.
And that's the thing about soccer. We talk about this all of the time when we're looking at the international game, that there'll be teams that'll have 1 or 2 or 3 chances, and you're almost like, that almost kind of guarantees their loss because they're doing so well, but they can't quite convert. And I feel a little bit that same way about Illinois State. They've had so many chances. Tejada in front of the goal, Dickman in front of the goal, and they can't get it on target to convert, and it's just got to be such a deflating feeling when you're doing all the work but can't quite get it done at the end.
More subs for now Drew Roth, now in his 8th season. Played at Michigan State under Joe Baum. Actually played a couple years with the current Michigan State coach, Damon Rensing. Dickman. Swaby trying to track back. Dickman goes around Swaby. Back across, right in front. Too strong for Leinert. And Tejada wasn't there as well. You got to love these opportunities that Illinois State is creating. They just can't finish.
I think it's great that they're continuing to fight. They have a couple of big games coming up in the next weeks at SEMO, Baylor here, Western Michigan. And I got to tell you, if I'm Coach Drew Roth, if I'm one of the assistants, one thing we will be working on in training next week is finishing, because they're doing a great job. But that service from Dickman, I would love to see it on the ground, easier to finish. Tejada, time and time again, she's been in front of the goal, but couldn't quite get it on target. They're doing all of the hard work. They've just got to execute right in the box and right in that final third.
I wonder if Tejada's starting to push a little bit. 21 goals, 9 assists as a freshman, then 18 and 10, 15 and 12. She has 1 goal and 5 assists this year, as without question, everybody circles number 14 on the scouting report, Tejada, and here she is. Tejada drops it. Will she get it back? Heavy touch. Dickman tries to stay with it. She wanted to get to Tejada, but good defending there by Rosie DiMartino, part of that incredible DiMartino family.
And I'm a firm believer that goals come in waves. Sometimes you can't get the rhythm. You're struggling, and then you put more pressure on yourself to try to make things happen. So she's just got to stay composed, take a deep breath, know that she's creating the opportunities, and if she continues to put herself in the right spot, eventually they'll come. Hopefully they come towards the end of the season in conference play, in the NCAA tournament, when it really matters, if not a little bit before.
Mentioned Rosie DiMartino, her sisters Vicky and Gina. Played in the WPS and continue to make some money in the NWSL. All played at Boston College. Tejada climbing the ladder. Leinert will try to run it down, and she does. Leinert always staying with it. Here's that team defending. She'll play it back to herself. Nifty work by Leinert. Kept alive there for the moment by Dickman. Dickman will stay with it. Continues to get strong. And finally, not enough. Boy, the fight, the heart of this Illinois State team, even down 2 goals. I think even Allison Foley of Boston College would be impressed by Illinois State.
You have to respect their fight and their willingness to continue to battle, no matter what the circumstances.
How about the fight we're talking about?
Well, it's kind of a little bit of a scrum here. We see both teams going at it, and I feel like it used to be ugly can be beautiful, right? I mean, look at that. It's not always pretty. You see people sliding and continuing to fight after it, but let me tell you, there's something beautiful about the way these women are going after the game.
You're saying I got a chance. Ugly can be beautiful. Thank you. $18 minutes and change. 3-1 Boston College. If the Redbirds could just get one back here in the next 7 or 8, that'll make that last 10 minutes extremely interesting. You know McCarter's going to give it all. Here's Dickman. Dickman tucks back in. Leinert was behind her. Williams to Dickman. Back to Cizik. Cizik will first time it. She had probably a little more time, although, you know, with McCaffrey lingering there, you got to be quick. And give McCaffrey credit, really.
She's always hovering, and she's so good at using her body when the ball's at her feet. She's also really good at sneaking in behind those defenders, coming back into the midfield and just trying to poke those balls away from the midfielders when they might not even see her coming from behind. And here we see another foul. Number 15, Brooke Cizik coming in a little bit late.
Cizik making her presence known right there. And maybe Cizik just needed a little break because the team in red have been running quite a bit. Leinert trying to get it by Woltz. Woltz will drop it back into the box, and coming off her line there to take it is Erin Newsom, the all-time wins leader here in Illinois State history. Leinert can't get to it, and a little bit too strong for McCarter. You mentioned the beautiful game. A lot of personality players in this game for both players. You talk about McCaffrey and the way she works. I love McCarter. Of course, we know all there is to know about Rachel Tejada, but some players that can really change the game individually.
I completely agree, Dean, and it's not only because of the players that are recruited to play at these universities, but also the culture and the style that the coaches ask them to play. They all want to put the ball on the ground. They want to play a beautiful, professional style of the game, and it's really fun to be a part of it, to watch it and see how the game continues to grow and develop. Every year it gets a little bit better.
Leinert. Leinert again. Leinert with an individual batter there with Coco Woltz. Swaby will knock it out of bounds. Mackenzie Meehan out for the season with an Achilles tear. She scored 20 goals a year ago for Boston College, and Allison Foley. And Casey Morrison, the center back, out with an ACL, and that leads to the emergence here of Allison Swaby, who Allison Foley said she knew she was going to be good. She knew she had the size and some of the experience with the U.S. Youth National Team, but I don't think she thought she was going to be this good. Calling her a player that has the potential to be perhaps the best defender to ever wear the gold and maroon of Boston College. That's strong.
And that's saying something, certainly. And obviously you never like to see injuries or hear of injuries, but injuries also give opportunities to players who might otherwise not really get a bunch of minutes on the field. And what better experience than a freshman center back getting some time, getting some minutes, getting some experience. It's going to set her up to have a really, really great college career.
Hannah Rogers, number 2, the freshman from right here at Bloomington, Illinois. Normal community. Van Deviner will drop it now to Williams. Williams has McCarter on the left. She'll go right down the middle, looking for Tejada. And I do finally sense a little bit of frustration in Tejada.
She's not quite as mobile as she's been for the first, 60, 70 minutes of the game. But the thing about great players is they can kind of float and they can kind of disappear for a little bit, and then all of a sudden in 2 seconds they can make an impact. And this is really my favorite time of the game. We've got, 10, 15 minutes left. Sometimes the game starts to get stretched a little bit as players get tired, so there's a little bit more space to play. And for me, this is really the time in the match where you see leadership. You see seniors and players who really want to make a difference really step up in the big plays and the big moments, put the team on their shoulders, and try to go after the game.
12 minutes and change. Be a throw-in back to Illinois State as Drew Roth will go back to his bench. Dickman will go out, as well as Hannah Rogers. A couple of freshmen who certainly, I thought, played very well here for Drew Roth here in the second half especially.
I agree, and he has a fairly young team, I'd have to say. I mean, obviously he's got Rachel Tejada, Gabby McCarter, Erin Newsom, who are seniors, but a lot of young blood. So I feel like Illinois State's got some success in years to come.
Farkas took that ball from Tejada, and now it's Leinert. Back to Farkas. Farkas. She'll come back to Cizik. Cizik now, back in. Olsen, back to Cizik. Cizik looking for McCarter, no red jersey there. You can see that back line pushing up for the Eagles.
And you can see how far Boston College has dropped off. I mean, Stephanie McCarter is the only player staying high. They've got 10 players within, 30, 40 yards of their goal. They're really trying to keep the game condensed, probably a little bit tired. Their legs are probably feeling it a little bit, but they're doing a good job of staying compact as Illinois State tries to attack.
Williams handling that pressure from McCaffrey. I like it. One back by Dowd. Dowd with the third goal in this game to make it 3-1. Really, it was the work of McCaffrey that led to that. Farkas here to Olsen. Olsen on the turn, trying to thread the needle. Too strong as she was looking to find number 7, Kelly Zickert, another freshman. She's from Arlington Heights, Illinois, went to Buffalo Grove High School. Under 11 minutes to go here. The Redbirds need 2 to equalize. Olsen down near the end line. Cizik has Williams. McCarter will spring over to the left side. Williams keeping it mostly in the middle. Tejada trying to spin off that back line. Loose at the top of the 18 and cleared out of there by Boston College, who will definitely feel a lot of pressure here in the last 10 minutes. Illinois State here in the Missouri Valley Conference not even remotely scared of this Boston College team, dare I say, Danielle.
No, and I really think you got to give credit to the experiences that they had, particularly last season. They played a tough schedule. They got into the NCAA tournament, played against a tough Louisville team. They were down, came back, won in penalty kicks, played against a number 11 ranked Michigan, and lost 2-0. But you learn from that. You build on that experience, and you say, hey, we've been in the dance. We know what it's like to be here. We're not scared of anybody. We know we can play, and that's clearly evident today, even despite being down 2 goals.
9 minutes and 30 seconds. Farkas will get it back, or she was hoping to. Farkas trying to stay with it. Leinert. She got it started. Great ball to McCarter. McCarter is in, needs to find somebody. Down near the end line, there's Tejada. Pushed off. Tejada stays with it. Oh, and the foul, though, is Tejada with the hip check on Swaby. I like that hip check, though.
I don't know. Was that a foul? I don't know. I liked how she used her body there.
I did, too. And you're a defender even saying that.
I don't think it was a foul. I don't know. Let's see if we could take a closer look here. Leinert, she passes it across the ball. Great job to keep that ball on the ground. Gabby McCarter serving it across the face. I like to say it's 2 good players going at it.
Let me just tell you, too, now, as Boston College with their 7th game on the road, including an exhibition game, it's hard to fault Allison Foley if Boston College can't play quite as much as they did in the first half. They're up 3-1. It's part of managing the game, so they know they're going to take the best punch here now from Illinois State, Danielle.
But that's gamesmanship. This is
right.
part of the game. Last 10 minutes, what do you do to find a way to win? Knowing that the other team's going to throw things at you, how are you going to stay compact defensively, get the ball out when you need to, and make smart choices in the 88th or 82nd minute of the game?
Under 8 minutes. Clock starting to be the enemy here of Drew Roth and Illinois State.
And if you're down 2 goals like Illinois State is, you need to do a couple of things. You need to make sure you don't foul, right? Because look at how many seconds Boston College can wind off the clock and take 30 seconds off, slowly walk into the ball, playing it in, and then playing it all the way towards your goalkeeper. So you got to keep the ball on the field. Make sure you don't make any silly fouls and move the ball quickly. And like John Wooden said, you got to be quick, but you don't want to hurry. So you got to be effective and quick, but make sure you stay composed as well.
Love that. Little John Wooden reference. It makes a lot of sense, because if you do something too quick, you can make mistakes. Here's a shot from Boston College. They haven't had one in a while. As really here in the second half, Aaron Newsom has not had a whole lot of work. Did have to pick one out of the net, though, on the score from Dowd.
And that's what's so difficult about being a goalkeeper. I mean, you can sit and not really have to make any big saves or do anything major, and then all of a sudden the goal's right in front of you and you're expected to come up in a big moment, even when you might not have had to do anything for 45 minutes.
So the only question mark as you talk to experts around the country is every once in a while, Tejada will drift away a little bit. They definitely need her in these last 6.5 minutes. She's got to make her mark. And if you can drift and score 55 goals and add 36 assists, call me a drifter any day. Well, and you mentioned gamesmanship. This is going to be part of it here as the clock winds down to 6 minutes left in regulation. Here's McCaffrey, and my vote for player of the game is McCaffrey.
Yeah, she just got the Boston College Eagles off to a great start. Her energy, her enthusiasm, her ability to hold the ball has really created opportunities, not only for herself, but also the teammates running off of her.
This is the first time we've seen a little bit of what I'll call understandable exhaustion for Illinois State. And the scoreline will add to that. But now McCarter, though, I want to see it play down the left side, and Carter wanted it. Go the other way to McCaffrey. McCaffrey's got 1 goal and an assist, looking for more. McCaffrey on the turn, and she's got another one. What a player, McCaffrey. 2 goals and an assist, part of that USA Under-23 team, and wow, big time performance for Stephanie McCaffrey.
Continuing to make a difference against the run of play. I mean, Illinois State has really had a little bit more possession of the ball in this second half, but she gets the ball, picks it up, and we've got some tired legs by Illinois State looking to track her down, and even despite two defenders hanging all over her, Van de Vieter right there pressuring the ball, McCaffrey is able to put it over the hip of Erin Newsome towards that back post.
Came into the game talking about Rachel Tejada, and we're coming out of the game talking about Stephanie McCaffrey, who a lot of people know as well, and McCaffrey's the real deal.
I agree. I mean, it's fun to see, particularly with the loss of Mackenzie Meehan, another player stepping up in that role. It would have been great to see them play together, though, today, wouldn't it?
Wow.
That would have been something.
That would have been incredible. We want to send our best as well to Mackenzie and Miss Morrison back in Boston. As I know those are tough injuries to overcome, but we wish them the best. Want to see them back on the field. McCarter now with 4 minutes left and down 3. Every pass is going to feel a little heavier than before.
And it's difficult for a team to play against another team that's playing a little bit of low pressure. Boston College dropped off a little bit. So the defenders have a little bit more time for Illinois State to get their heads up and try to play it forward. But there's just not many passing channels or spaces for them to play into, particularly as the forwards start to get tired and don't move quite as much.
Stephanie McCaffrey making a bid here for the NSCAA Disney Soccer Player of the Week. Might see her headshot on Wednesday when we're in Williamsburg, Virginia for William and Mary and Richmond as the NSCAA Game of the Week rolls on. Saturday, Louisville Duke men's soccer from that beautiful new stadium in Louisville, and also Seattle will host UConn on Sunday. In men's soccer, those last two games, big time schedule. We have UCLA and UCSB men's soccer, 15,000 plus. Here's McCarter, touches it into the 18. Swaby gets in there for a moment. McCarter will try to run it down. Did it go across? It didn't. It'll be a goal kick for Boston College, as this one will finally start to wind down, and a well-deserved rest coming out of the game. Superstar Stephanie McCaffrey, the senior from Winchester, Mass. Another great game.
She's done a great job really putting her mark and her imprint on the game. What's impressed me most are two things. One, her ability to play back to goal and hold the ball so well, but then also turn and create opportunities herself, getting herself faced up, getting herself in front of the goal, and then clearly executing, putting it away. 2 goals today already.
Look at Illinois State. They are not done until they sound that whistle. Leinert has got the only goal of the game. Leinert kept alive. Tejada's open. Leinert taken down inside the 18, and the Redbird faithful wanted the penalty kick. Illinois State. Williams will run it down. Illinois State will play SEMO coming up on September 12th, and then Baylor back here on September 14th, Western Michigan on the 19th. Boston College will have 5 home games in a row with Harvard, South Florida, Florida State, Pittsburgh, and Clemson as they look forward to getting back to Chestnut Hill.
Much deserved homestand. 7 games on the road. I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, I mean, one of them was in Boston, so, and the other one in Cambridge, so they didn't have to go that far, but nonetheless.
Still, there is something to be said about having that home fan base, that home field advantage. So kudos to the Boston College Eagles for getting so many wins on the road, only 1 loss on the season thus far. We'll see how they can handle the pressure of playing at home and some tough games coming up.
Their only loss to Nancy Feldman and Boston University. So Dowd will come out. She scored a goal. It's been so long ago, almost forgot about that bomb from Janet Jeffrey that was just spectacular early on here. She hit it from 30 plus, easy.
Yeah, and that was in the, fourth minute of the game. I mean, we were talking about the forwards, we were talking about McCaffrey and Bernard, how they were playing so well, and then all of a sudden, out of the midfield, she picks up a great ball, takes her head up, catches Newsom a little bit off her line, and puts it away.
We weren't even sure Jeffrey was going to start. McCarter, final 20 seconds.
I wish we had a pedometer on McCarter, because she has been up and down that left sideline all day long.
They'll count it down, and the final scoreline will read Boston College 4, Illinois State 1, as the power of the ACC represented. But if I've ever seen a 4-1 game where the team with only one goal can hold their head high, it's got to be Illinois State.
I agree. You look at this scoreline and you think, Boston College might have run away with it a little bit. But let me tell you, Illinois State had opportunity after opportunity, particularly at the end of that first half. I know they're feeling like they can take away some positive moments from this match today.
4-1, your final score. An unbelievable performance from Stephanie McCaffrey, who just was fantastic. And Allison Foley will work her way over as well with McCaffrey. Is a big win here now for McCaffrey. And Allison Foley is also over here. We'll talk first with Stephanie McCaffrey, then we'll be joined by Allison Foley. And Stephanie McCaffrey, let me just tell you one thing. You are the real deal. We're up here in the booth. That is a big-time performance by you. Well done.
Thank you.
Talk about just how open the field was in your performance today.
Well, I think we did a really good job of keeping possession today, and when you keep the ball well, gaps open up for the forward. So I think the reason the game was so open was actually because our back seven kept it so well, so I have to give them credit for that.
You do a great job of being able to receive the ball at your feet and then turn, find yourself in front of the goal, getting opportunities on goal. What do you do to put yourself in the right position all of the time?
I try to read the build-up. I think the more games you play, the more you get to know people's tendencies. And I think we got a lot of young kids playing in our back seven, so every game we play, it gets easier and easier to read kind of the patterns we do in practice. And Coach does a great job of actually practicing those patterns, like in training, knowing which are relative to our strengths. So I think a combination of those two things would probably...
We know it's going to be a big year for you because you got to replace Mackenzie Meehan. We want to give you a chance to give a shout-out to your girl back in Boston.
Yeah, well, she's actually right over there.
Oh, she's here. Great. Okay, perfect.
I mean, it doesn't get much easier than playing with Mackenzie Meehan, and I can't even begin to describe how big of a loss that was because I thought the two of us were very different, and that's why we were special together. But I couldn't be happier with how much of a team player she's been given her injury, and we're trying to do it for her this year, particularly in the offensive third.
All right, we'll let you hand over the headset to your fine head coach, Allison Foley, who also made her way across the field. And Allison Foley now 7 games on the road. Now you get to go back home. A pretty good road trip, Coach.
Yeah, it's been a long haul. I really give these girls credit. Significant injuries, 3 significant injuries, and on the road for so many games, for them to gut this out against top opponents. It's a true testament to their determination, and I'm really proud of them, and we're really looking forward to getting home.
You've got to be pleased with the way your team responded in the second half. Illinois State came out with a couple of chances early in that second half, but you guys were able to get a couple of goals there. Talk about how much you like how your team responded in the last 45.
Yeah, credit to Illinois State. They had 2 really good chances in the first 5 minutes, and that needed to obviously be rectified. I think our center backs did a great job of closing down the central part of the field on 14 to deny any true options the rest of the game. And Illinois State has some real dangerous players, and you can't keep your eye off of them for 1 minute. So I thought the concentration of our back line was excellent for the rest of the 40 minutes of the second half.
You said it already. We're here at Illinois State. How about the way they represented the Missouri Valley Conference here today, even in a 4-1 loss?
Yeah, they fought to the end. Certainly there wasn't any deflation in their pressure or their will to go to goal. We're real thankful we had the invitation to come out here. They're a great squad. I'm sure they're going to win the league again, and maybe, who knows, we'll see them in the NCAA tournament again.
Well, speaking of NCAA tournament, 11 years in a row, looking for 12. Allison Foley, do a great job. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Allison Foley, the fine head coach of Boston College. And boy, wonderful host here at Illinois State. Give you one more chance to talk about how great it's been here in Normal, Illinois.
It's been a phenomenal experience. I mean, everything from the weather to the surface. I'm looking forward to seeing them play under the lights coming up here shortly as they host the conference tournament. I got to give credit to Coach Roth, and despite losing by 3 goals, his team really looks like a strong side as they continue to build going into conference play. I think they have a really bright future the rest of the season and in years to come.
As we send you away from Normal, Illinois here at Illinois State, it was Jana Jeffrey, number 12, who got things started for Boston College on the road, representing the ACC. Illinois State coming out very excited in their red jerseys, but Stephanie McCaffrey, one of 2 goals for Boston College. McCaffrey was dangerous the entire game. This one would fall to Dowd, and Dowd would make it 3-1 before McCaffrey would put one more in, 4-1. Illinois State never stopping to the end. For our entire crew here in Normal, Danielle Slayton, I'm Dean Linke. Final score once again, Boston College 4, Illinois State 1. You saw it all right here on NSCAA-TV.